Picture this. It's a cold, dark night, and you're a shepherd out in the fields watching your flock. When all of a sudden, an angel appears with some news to share. And the angel says, "Behold, the virgin is giving birth to the Savior, and he will be born in a manger." What goes through your mind at this time? What exactly are you thinking? This is the scene in Luke chapter 2, verse 8 to 14. And the church is trying to depict this scene in one of our signature hymns on the Feast of the Nativity called Eparthenos, which is said after the Acts, before the Gospel, and is chanted with no cymbals. And so as you're listening to the hymn, what you'll notice is the hymn is starting off in a very low and mellow tune, as if to describe the secret that the angel is telling the shepherd. And the hymn starts off by saying this: "Today the Virgin gives birth to the supreme essence, and the earth offers the manger to the unapproachable." Does that sound familiar? That's exactly what the angel told the shepherds that very night. And so the hymn stays very low and stays very mellow until it reaches a certain word. And that word is angeli, or angel. At this point, the hymn really picks up and kind of gets excited. And the words are as follows: "The angels with the shepherd glorify." At this point, what the hymn is describing is in Luke chapter 2, verse 13 and 14, where the shepherds and the heavenly hosts together glorify him. And so at this point, you've just been told some very big news that the Savior's been born, and you just joined the angels in praising God. So what's going to be your next step? The very next thing you're going to do is to find this Savior that's been born. And so this is exactly what the hymn is trying to depict in this next segment, of the wise men riding their camels, following the star to where the Savior is born. And the words say, "And the wise men with the star journey." And what you'll notice in the hymn is a lot of rhythm and musical motion to describe the wise men being led by the star, walking along the journey to where the Savior is born. Immediately following that, what you'll find is the hymn shifts its focus to the whole purpose of the story, where it says, "For to us is born a new child." What or who is the purpose of the story? We are the purpose of the story. And so you'll see that the hymn picks up again, where the church is really trying to emphasize this point and drive it home, that we are the reason this is all happening. And so the last part is God before the ages, where the hymn uses a melody that goes back a full 7 low notes and actually reaches its lowest note to describe God before time even existed, or God before the ages. At the end of this hymn, we find the really lovely and joyous tune of Pigen Misi, which is chanted with cymbals and says, "The virginal birth and spiritual pangs, a paradoxical wonder according to the prophetic voices." And so we've just received the good news, and the church is now inviting us to celebrate this wondrous mystery of the Incarnation. Thanks for joining us on this week's episode of Hidden Treasures. Make sure you join us next week on the long Praxis response of Share Your Name.